at the Emirates, but I've seen bigger nights, bro. You know, like 5-1, the 1-0 away to Real. Do you get me? Like we've seen, because we've been around. Do you know what I mean? We've been around winning the title at Old Trafford. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
bro.
Exactly. So
it's a great point you just made there, bro. Because thinking about it now, like some of these fans they've never seen us win a league title. They've never seen us actually lift a big major trophy in it. So, like you're saying, you're right, bro. Like that last night obviously was an amazing night. I fully enjoyed it, but bro, we've seen bigger, bro. We won the league at Old Trafford. This is a Fergie Man United team. Firing, kicking. We won the league with no Thierry, bro. Like we went there and beat them, bro. And won the league there. We won the league at Spurs, bro. At our biggest rivals. We were unbeaten. Like, brother, there's levels to this, innit? So for me, I 100% agree. And this is where you got to be careful in terms of the fans not really trying to sway you in terms of thinking that this level is the highest standard it is, because it's not. It's the highest standard that obviously they've seen. But for us, bro, we've seen bigger and higher where we've actually lifted major honors in it. So for me, you've just always got to try and keep that standard there. Like, listen, this is great and it's a fantastic night, but we want to get to higher. We want to get to where we were before. We're on the prime Wenger, where we were competing for the Champions League. We were obviously winning the league on a regular basis. So great point you made there, bro. I feel like we definitely have to try and keep the standards high, because again, we want to be feeling like we felt on Wednesday every night, bro. Every game. Why can't we feel like that all the time in the league? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we want, bro. This is why we're not moaning. We want the best for the club. That's literally it. So man.
It's mad, isn't it? I was saying, because everyone's the main character of their own story. So I was even watching a little bit of Dan Potts. Big up Dan Potts. He was on Gal and Lee and Christian and Kenny. You know, they was all on. And then you got kind of like the negative side and then the more positive side. And like I said, everyone's the main character for their own story. So these guys, I mean, I don't think it's they believe what they believe, and I'm just like, all right, cool. But like I said, I'm just trying to understand the mind of the so-called top gooner, because I'm not kind of a blind faith guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, seeing is believing, my bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Seeing is believing. And yeah, you know, these guys are just really happy with second. And I'm like, look, while it's somewhat progress, if you're second 3 years in a row, you got to start questioning whether it's progress or whether it's stagnation now. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man, great points. And like I said, it was good to obviously hear your background, how you got into Arsenal. I can also hear there's a little bit of an accent there, my bro. Like, tell me like where you're from. You don't have to like break it all the way down, but just give me a little something about where you're from, my guy.
Yeah. So I'm from like the Midlands, innit? So like there's a couple of like West Midlands kind of area, innit? That's where I normally grew up or whatnot. But yeah, obviously I've got family in London as well, so it's all kind of linked in terms of different areas that I'm from. Like, definitely from, obviously my parents are originally from like Jamaica too, so yeah, man, there's a bit of Jamaican patois twang and all that stuff. So it's all kind of melds into one, innit? Like kind of my background and culture and that. So yeah, bro, it's obviously interesting, like you were saying, in terms of like you growing up in school and you being the guy, and I feel like with these like kids that are growing up today, like you've missed out on a lot, bro. Like, you want to have that feeling going into school knowing that, bro, my team is the team. No one can chat to my team, bro, because we've got X amount of player, this, there, and there. We've won X amount of trophies. Look at that final. Look at that game where we beat your team 6-0, 5-0, whatever, bro. So yeah, I feel like these new generation of fans, they are missing out, bro, in terms of thinking that this is the highest standard they can obviously get to. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Obviously, in terms of where I was living or whatever, bro, this is why I can't stand Man United fans. I know a lot of people and a lot of Arsenal fans don't like Tottenham, but for me, growing up, Man United was my sole enemy, bro. They were my rivals to the death, to the day. This is why I have to do those hate watch-alongs, bro, to see them in the mud, and I'm happy every time because they cause me pain. It's personal between them and me. You get it? So yeah, for me, Fergie, bro, that was it, man. Me and them back to back, head to head. It was a rumble, bro. So yeah, man, definitely got to obviously keep that up, bro. And it's just sad to see, obviously, we haven't really got that rival anymore because they're in the mud. We're not really winning anything, so we can't really rub it in their face. So yeah, it's a bit mad.
I wanted to ask you about that because obviously, like, we're going kind of from then, and then we're kind of end up where we are now, and just to see how wild it is, not just the Arsenal, like, you know, the football as a standard is completely dropped. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm probably just a piece older than you. I remember when every team had a star player, bro. Southampton had a Matt Letitia. Do you know what I'm saying? Norwich had a Huckabee. Or do you understand what I'm saying? There was, you know, who did Benito Carboni play for? A good few teams, like, you understand? Like, there was always, you know, Chelsea had Zola and Hasselbank, and that was when they were tin pot. Do you know what I mean? That was before the money. So the level of football has just changed so much, man. But I'm glad you brought up the whole rivalry thing, because Tottenham are not our rivalries. No, they're not our rivals. They're just our neighbours. They're just in the same area as us. As you said, I'm from that era, bro. Premier League, Arsene Wenger versus Fergie, Roy Keane versus Vieira in the tunnel. You know what I mean? Like all of that. You know what I'm saying? When we had Thierry Henry, this guy, like I go to school and people, when they know they're playing us, it wasn't even just about the football. They're scared of Henry, bro. It's like, oh,
yeah.
They're scared, and we don't have that anymore. I don't think we've had anyone like that maybe since Oba. Do you know what I'm saying? And where he was just kind of vibes. But yeah, anyway, enough about that. So I want to pick your brain about kind of where we are now then, considering, you know, where we was. What do you feel like is because this is what I say on my channel a lot. I always try to identify the single biggest problem at the club, because this year, as much as we're second, and you know, I feel like we've kind of regressed a little bit and fell off the cliff. So firstly, do you feel the same? Do you feel like we've kind of gone backwards a little bit? And then secondly, what do you feel like is the biggest kind of single problem at Arsenal? Like if you change that, or if you fix that, then we start maybe moving in the right direction, bro.
Yeah, good questions, bro. Good questions. In terms of what I thought of the season, yeah, I felt like, because before the start of the season, even though, again, I started questions about Mikel Arteta, my feeling of the season was like, we have to win the league now. Like, it's been 2 years. Obviously, we bottled it in the first year. We came very close in the second year. Literally one game, that Aston Villa game. If you made the right choices in terms of personnel, stuck with habits up front, then potentially we could have won that game and won the league. So, bro, 2 points off. I'm like, yeah, us and City again. Obviously, thinking that Liverpool weren't going to be an equation in the table. Yeah, we've got to win it, man. We've got to win it. And for me, I've just been disappointed from the off since, bro. You know what it was? It was from that Declan Rice red card. I'm like, you know what? This don't feel right, man. And then obviously before that, we had the window with obviously just getting Sterling, and just that period there, I'm like, bro, this don't feel like a title winning summer where you brought in major players to really kick on and go over the line, man. And then yeah, it just was. It's just been a calamity, man. Not in terms of, like I said, a couple of referee decisions have been bad, but more about the way the fans and not even the fans, the team's been playing, bro. It's been so like lackluster, relying on set pieces all the time. And listen, having set pieces is great, and listen, that's a great Arsenal to have to add to your play that you have in open play, bro. Like, but for me, we've just been very, very stagnant in terms of how we're breaking teams down. We're losing and dropping points to the same teams. You look at, we dropped points to Fulham last year, same again this year. We lost to West Ham last year, same again this year. We lost to Newcastle last year, same again this year. We dropped points to Villa last year, same again this year. So it's just the same teams, the same managers with the same tactics, and we're not able to break them down. And it's not really a surprise considering we didn't buy any starters. We bought Sterling, who's obviously not the player he was. He's absolutely finished at the top level. Marino's been a squad player, a lot better up front than he did in midfield, in my opinion. And Calafiori's been injured most of the time. Has been outshined by Lewis Skelly, who's 18. So there are signings. And we got Neto, who literally we played one game and he made bozo mistakes. We ain't seen him since, bro. And he's only in his cup time. So yeah, that summer absolutely stunk thinking about it now, bro. But yeah, man, going back to obviously like I was saying in terms of expectations, for me, bro, like even before, like I said, I wanted to win the league, but the minimum for me was you had to win a trophy. Like, I can understand. Obviously, I'm not a guy that's unrealistic in terms of, I know it's hard to win the league. And then especially from a manager that doesn't have the experience of winning the league. And I don't particularly rate in terms of he's not got the longevity or the experience of winning major trophies. I can understand if he loses to Pep because Pep's a better manager than him. I can get that. But for me, what is not like forgivable is going out and getting dumped out of these competitions so easily in the third round. A poor Man United team, we lost on penalties, man. Not good enough. Last year, we got knocked out by West Ham in the League Cup. Not good enough. This year, we got knocked out over 2 legs to Newcastle, not scoring a goal. Not good enough. Last year, we lost to Liverpool's B team. We battered them, missed loads of chances, got knocked out in the third round. Not good enough. And they're the kind of games where I'm really on Arteta, because it's like, bro, we're good enough to win a cup, man. We're good enough to win a couple of cups. If you can't win the league or the Champions League, they're hard trophies to win. Only one team can win them. You look at the Champions League now. Look, PSG could win it. Barcelona can win it. They look good as well. Inter look good as well. We've actually won 3. Only one of these 4 teams can win it, bro. And the other good teams in another year would probably win it if it was lesser teams. So I understand that. That's not a problem. But for me, the cups were by far the favourites in all of the cups, because for me, we've got the best team. City have been obviously falling off a cliff. Liverpool have not treated the cups really that seriously. Look how they lost to the bloody Plymouth playing their B team. So for me, it was no excuses not to at least get to a final of one of them trophies and win that, to give a bit of winning mentality to the players that are already there. People like Bukayo Saka's not won a trophy apart from the FA Cup, but he didn't play in the final. Same with Martinelli, he was injured, he didn't have a contribution there. Gabriel's been here for what, 5 years, not won a trophy, a major
One
trophy.
trophy.
Saliba the same. Odegaard the same. Bro, these guys need to start winning some things, man, before they go off to Real Madrid and Barca and start winning elsewhere. We've seen the story before, me and you, bro. We've seen Fabregas and Nasri and Van Persie complain about the ambition of the club and leave and get sold to rivals and all that good stuff. So, yeah, I can't sit here and have that happen again, bro. Listen, fire for them, man. You know.
Cooking, bro. Tots is cooking, bro.
We've been here before, brother. Like, we know what's going to come if we don't start getting over the line. That's why I'm on Arteta even more, because I'm like, bro, I can see what's going to happen. If these men don't start winning things, they're going to leave the club. I've seen it. They're going to not sign contracts, and they're out the door, and then we're going to start this process all over again. Long time since I've seen Gabriel and Saliba, the quality of centre-backs that we have currently at the club. It's been 20 years since we've got basically replacements for Campbell and Torre, bro. That's how long it's taken. We know how long it takes to get a striker.
Sort the defense, and then we're missing on the striker. Sort the striker, then we're missing on exactly.
This is how it works, bro. We sort the midfield, then we ain't got a good goalkeeper now. Now we need to get this, bro. There's minimal opportunity for you to get the perfect team in terms of happy with every position in the starting 11. And for me, we're only a couple of places away now, but when we start wasting transfer windows, it gets deeper and deeper. Before we probably only needed 1 or 2 players. Now we need 5 or 6 to really have a competitive squad to go into the Champions League, go into the league. We need a replacement for Odegaard. We need a replacement for Saka. We need a left winger. We need a striker. We need probably another left back to compete with Lewis Skelly if you're going to play Calafiori as the centre back option if Kivio gets sold. So these are positions that we need to get filled with quality and quantity at the same time. We've got one of the shortest squads in the league, bro. 22-man squad in 4 competitions with extra Champions League games. It was always going to end with injuries, bro.
Yeah, not just that, but you want to play a high-intensity game as well with such small squads. How does that make any sense? Hey, listen, bro, you've been cooking, man. Let me just literally, I know this is a one-on-one show, guys, in the comments, though, so I'm not going to be able to get to it all the time, but before we move on, let me just salute the people that have come in. Big up Shane Guna. It's bigging up me and T Chanzo. Big up each and every time. Make sure you go and subscribe to Shane as well. Big up Tony Claude Gunner. Hope you are well today, my bro. Make sure you go and subscribe to Tony, man, each and every time. Big up Benny Hill. He says, as a result, any result, it's a cup final win or a league winning result. Should just be celebrated simply as a win. Yes, it's nice, but means nothing without the silverware at the end. Well, if you're relating to the Real Madrid game, absolutely, bro. And I said the same after PSV. I said the same after Man City, because I don't think we've won more than 3 games in a row. So it's like, we know we got bigger fish to fry. You're worrying about one result. It makes absolutely no sense. But thank you for that, Benny. Let's move on. Big up Tony at Early Doors as well, West Ham fan. Make sure you're all going to subscribe to Tony as well. He's bigging up me and T Chanzo Sports. Big up. Big up 4-0 down as well, my bro. Make sure you subscribe to him as well. Just started his channel. Was with me on the watch along on that. So big up 4-0 down. Early Doors says, just popping in while away. Can't complete a day without a views lunchtime special. My brother, I appreciate you, man. Every time, bro. Make sure you go and like and go and subscribe over to Tony as well. He also says, big up for getting over the 500 subs as well. Views well deserved. Hey, we're trying out here, man. He said, just sub to T Chanzo as well. Thank you for that, man. Community settings over here. That's how we like to do it. Love for the love. So yeah, so back to you, my guy, the start of the show. No, made some great points. I mean, what I did want to ask you about is obviously I'm calling him Montgomery Berta. You get me? I'm hoping it's not Bert from Sesame Street. You know, it's the big up off the TV, because he said the Bert from Sesame Street, the Montgomery Berta. That was my thing though, because that's what I'm hoping he does. We see him at the training ground. He's in a suit. He's got his arms crossed, pacing up and down. I'm hoping that Arteta's sweating. I'm hoping that, at any moment he just says, release the hounds. You get me? And Arteta Smithers just, wanders off and just sit in the corner and let him come and do his stuff. But I wanted to ask you about Bert. I wanted to ask you, what you think that might mean for the club. What kind of power do you think he has? Do you think he's going to try and be on a good platform with Arteta from the off, or do you think it's kind of just a work in progress?
Yeah, you know what? That signing was very surprising to me in a good way, because I felt like the typical Arsenal thing to do was to get someone like Per Mertesacker or Thomas Rosicky, someone in-house that knows Arteta, that he's friends with, someone that's not going to question what he wants to do, etc., etc. But they went the other way. They went for the experience route. I was dreading, hoping that they didn't get Jason Alto either, because, bro, that would have been one of the worst of the appointments that we could have made, especially how he treated the January transfer window. But for me, bro, I feel like this signing could be the making of Arsenal in terms of this is a guy that's a proven winner in terms of when he buys players, when he buys players for Atletico Madrid, he pays the big money, he pays the big fees, he gets the high profile players, and that's what we're missing at the minute, man. We've only really got Declan Rice in terms of getting that play that maybe a couple of other teams want for high money, high profiles, but he's done it at tenfold at Atletico Madrid. Yeah. And for me, Burr is definitely the guy that's going to come in and stand on business. There's no friends. It's all about a business relationship with Arteta. You can tell that, man. There's no smiling, no giggling, no happiness. Every time I see him in the stands, he's got screw face. He's serious. The videos of him walking around in the training ground, screw face, serious, suit on, like you said, ready to get down to work, down to business. And there's, bro, the tweet that really opened my eyes a little bit was that David Ornstein tweet when he said, when we linked us first to Gyökeres, because that was the first time we've really been linked with a proper journalist with Gyökeres, apart from like transfer rumors. But the fact he put in the tweet that it was from Berta. Berta is a key component in this kind of potential signing. Made me think, okay, this guy's got a bit of power now, because now we're seeing the players that he wants. Do you know what I'm saying? Now we're seeing the players that he wants to bring in. Before, it's always Arteta admires the player. Arteta admires the player. Yeah. Edu was moving like a kind of like a side guy. Like he was just going to Arteta saying, "Yes, sir. What do you want? Do you want this? Do you want this, sir? Do you want that, sir?" Bro, it should be the other way around. Arteta should be coming to you for suggestions, and you're and ahhing, thinking, "Okay, do I want that player in? Do I want that player in?" And that's how a sporting director relationship normally works. You know, he's the guy that's really got the final say in terms of, okay, this is best for the club. This is best for the long-term club. There's no guarantee this manager is going to be here long-term. So I'm going to get what's best for the club, not what's best for you. And that's the mentality that we need right now. And for me, that is a great thing for Arsenal, because when you go back to the point that you said before in terms of what do I think is missing, I think that was missing. I think that to get in a proper, efficient sporting director that is not going to give Arteta any excuses of not having a striker, not getting a proper keeper in, not getting this, not getting that in, because that's kind of obviously some of the things that obviously fans have been saying. Arteta's not got the proper squad he wants. He still needs X, Y, and Z. He's not spent too much money on attackers. But now we've got a guy that I know buys attackers. I've seen the list. I've seen him get Cunha. I've seen him get Griezmann. I've seen him get Morata. Bro, the list is mad. I've seen him pay top dollar for João Felix, bro. He knows what he's doing. He can get the big money plays in the big forward areas. So for me, I know it's not going to be him, bro. Like, if we don't get anyone, it's the club or Arteta. It's one of the two in it. That's obviously not receiving or releasing the funds, or Arteta doesn't want the type of players that he wants. But, bro, the noise I'm hearing already is obviously good news. We need a striker. We've been waiting for a striker since Aubameyang, bro, left back in 2021. It's a long time, bro. We've not had a recognized number 9 since then, you know. It's madness. So, bro, for me, I feel like Berta could put himself in folklore in terms of already in good graces with the Arsenal fans if he just gets that striker in. Even the left winger. I remember we were linked with Pedro Neto in like 2022 to be a replacement for Pepe, bro. This is how long we've been looking for a winger as well. So there's 2 positions, man. Like, bro, listen, if he can get those over the line, and bro, for me, he's already done his job in terms of, okay, you're identifying the key areas we need in the front line, and you've got those players in, and now we're ready to go. No excuses for Arteta. You've got your gunman striker. You've got your left winger that you want to replace Martinelli and Trossard. Obviously, Saka's there as well, that obviously you love as well. You've got your front line, man. Havertz is on the bench. You've got your players that you bought. Declan Rice, 100 mil. Bro, there's no excuses. The defense is solid. You got your keeper. Like, listen, there's no more excuses. That's the last piece of the puzzle.
You said a great point. Obviously, you know, when you're talking about if you don't, it might be Arteta saying, "Oh, I don't like that kind of player." What I'm kind of hoping for, my bro, is that he don't even get that choice. The only choice you get is you need to tell me what positions you need to get filled, and I'll go and fill them. Like you don't get to. So that's what I'm kind of slightly hoping is going to be the dynamic. Like, cool, I'm going to work with you, bro, but you just tell me what you need, and I'll fill those positions. You don't tell me, "Oh, I don't want this guy, I don't want that guy." That's what I'm hoping is the case. And like I said, so far, as you said, every time we've seen him, he's been all about business, screw face. So and for me, obviously, because like I said, the PTSD is real. You know, I've always got that little niggling feeling in the background, like, let's just wait and see. Because seeing is believing at the end of the day. Because also me with my conspiracy hat on, you know, I was having a bit of a go at the journos and the people like us that create content, because obviously now that Berta's in, it's a nice easy way to just regurgitate the same story